Hello everyone, good evening from my end. I hope you guys are doing well. So this is second lecture on the topic semiconductor. So I'll quickly revise what we have discussed in the last lecture. We have learned about the diodes, then PN junction diode, then we have seen their behavior in the forward bias and the reverse bias. Then we have discussed about the rectifier, basically diode rectifier. There were two things in it, half wave and full wave rectifier. Then I have requested all of you to go through your 11th textbook to clear out some basic concept on semiconductor topic. I'm very sure you all might have done it. So in this lecture, as I promised, that we are going to study about the next phase. What is in this block diagram we have covered until this part. Okay, this first part A and B. So we have reached up to the point B, wherein the output of DC rectifier is in this form. It is obviously it is unidirectional, as we discussed. Like the AC component, the waveform is bidirectional, but here in the DC output, rectifier output, we get the waveform in unidirectional. You can see this is the output of full wave rectifier. But this waveform consists of some AC component in it. Okay, and this AC, with this AC component, if we apply this waveform directly to our electronic devices, then it will surely damage them. Okay, so in order to prevent our devices and to overcome the situation, we have to apply the output of diode rectifier into the input of filter circuit. Okay, in order to remove those AC component. This AC component are usually called as ripple. Okay, and there are some characteristics of this ripple. So the first thing is, on what basis we decide the effectiveness of a rectifier. Effectiveness in the sense, like suppose output of a wave consists of more ripples. These ripples are calculated based on this ripple factor. So this ripple factor is nothing but the RMS value of AC component, the root mean square value of AC component, divided by the value of DC component. So if this ripple factor value is high in the output of a diode rectifier, then that rectifier is very less effective. Okay, and if this ripple factor is less in certain output of a diode rectifier, then that rectifier will be called as very effective diode. That will be most effective, like that will be only used in the industries and whatever the regular devices we are using in our home. Okay, so basically you can see here in the waveform that this is the V ripple out voltage, what we get in the output waveform from the diode rectifier. So in order to remove this AC component or ripple from the output of a diode rectifier, we apply this waveform to filter circuit. Okay, now let's have a look at the filter circuit. This is the filter circuit. Okay, so now this output will be in terms of pulses. Okay, so here this is rectifier circuit, and this is basically a capacitor based filter circuit. There are different types of filter circuit present in the market, but capacitor filter circuit is commonly used. Why? The reason is because of its low cost, first thing, and it is not heavy. It is due to its lightweight. Okay, and it is very easily available in the market. So considering all these factors, this capacitor filter we are using in this circuit to remove that AC component from the DC output of a diode rectifier output. So let's focus on this waveform. How does it get filtered out? Okay, so if you see, this is VP. Okay, voltage. It is nothing but the peak voltage. Okay, so as I said, the output of a diode rectifier waveform, it will be in form of pulses, 1 pulse, 2 pulse, 3 pulse, like this. Okay, so what happened here is, when we apply it to filter circuit, the current came in and the capacitor gets charged. Okay, it gets fully charged, and then it allows current to pass through the load resistance. I'll repeat once again. When this rectifier output is applied to filter circuit, okay, when the voltage current came in, this capacitor get charged. Okay, and it, you know, the capacitor store the charges. When it is getting charged and it gets completely charged, then it will allow the current to flow through the load resistance. Okay, once the current flows through the load resistance, the diode will go from point 0 to point A until its peak voltage. Okay, and when output is dropped across the load resistance, it will the capacitor will start discharging again. As you know, its function as a charge and discharge. Okay, once it throws all the current to load resistance, it will start discharging, but the discharging happens at very less amount. It will discharge from point A to point B. The slight discharge will take place, and as soon as it gets discharged, it will again immediately it will charge up and throws the next cycle of current. Then again it will go from point B to point C. So this cycle continues, and what we see here, this wave, just focus on this part, we get this sort of output, which is shown here in as a C, point C. So we get something like this output from the filter circuit. Now again, this output is not a pure DC form, what we want. Okay, this is unregulated DC output. Okay, this is not regulated. Unregulated in the sense, now again, if we, like, AC component is not there in this, but the current is unregulated. Like sometimes we will get some low value, sometimes moderate, and sometimes it will be very high. So we want to regulate this value in order to prevent our electronic devices from damage. Okay, then again we will have to apply this waveform to a voltage regulator in order to get a pure DC output. So there are different kinds of voltage regulator we get in the market, but most commonly we are going to use in our syllabus is Zener diode. If you might have remember, we have already discussed about Zener diode in the 11th standard. It works in the breakdown region, so it works in the reverse biased. So in order, I will cover the topic Zener diode and the different kind of special diodes in the next lecture. So right now let's revise what we have discussed today. It's a very short one. So it is, as we see, this is the output of full wave rectifier. It is unidirectional, and ripple is nothing but the AC component present in this output. Okay, it is called as ripple. And ripple factor, like it decides the effectiveness of a rectifier. Like the higher the ripple factor, the low, the rectifier is very less effective. We want the ripple factor to be very small, then only we can say that rectifier is very good, or its effectiveness is very high. So after this, what we did is we have applied this output to filter circuit. Filter circuit will remove its AC component, and it will give somewhat output like this, which will be, we cannot say like each and every component of AC is removed. Most of the AC components are removed, because filter circuit will allow only DC components to pass through the circuit. AC component will be blocked. Okay, so then, but this output, it is unregulated. Okay, so in order to regulate it, we need to pass it through the voltage regulator. Then only we will get a pure DC output, which we can input to our electronic devices. Okay, so in this next lecture we will study about Zener diode and other types of special diode, like which are usually work under the breakdown region or reverse bias region. Until then, you can just revise what is the reverse bias region and how the circuit works in the reverse bias region. Right, we will study about P injection diode in the reverse bias condition. You can just revise that circuit. We will continue in the next lecture. Thank you.